Welcome back. Entertainment purposes only. Hope you guys doing alright. Shout out to the wolves. Salute to my ninjas.
I think just looking at words and terms should tell you something. The very word church, for instance, is an English word. C-H-U-R-C-H is an English word. Church comes from a Scottish word, kirk, K-I-R-K. Remember the old hymn, The Kirk of the Valley? Kirk is Scottish for church in English, but kirk goes back and K-I-R-K. Remember the old hymn, The Kirk of the Valley? Kirk is Scottish for church in English, but Kirk goes back, incidentally, that's why you have Captain Kirk and the good ship Enterprise.
Holy shit. What about that guy? Charlie. I guess it's Charlie's church?
CIA documentary, and Erica Kirk is in it. Check this out.
We have 5 major threats that make our grid extremely vulnerable that we've presented to congressional officials. 1 being cyber, 2 being hackers, 3 being physical threats, 4th one is solar EMP, and the 5th one is man-made EMP. So the concern that we have is that we put out this critical information, and when we go over this risk analysis, they hear what we're saying, but they don't want to take action.
Okay, so apparently this clip is from a documentary called Black Start USA, and Erica Kirk, née Francevy, appears as a presenter or briefer on a topic of electromagnetic pulse, EMP threats, and vulnerabilities in the U.S. power grid.
First of all, I'm pretty sure she was 23 years old. So she's been CIA since the time she was a beauty queen. They went and got her. So she's been CIA for a long time. Her mother is also in defense, and it all centers around Camp Huachuca.
Fort Hocktua, I believe.
Or Fort Hocktua, as Kurt calls it.
She is shown briefing or...
That Haley Welch girl, Hocktua, everyone's jealous. That's bullshit. That she's rich and famous, and I'm not. But she got too famous too fast. She didn't have the trials to prepare her for the success that she had. Her empire was given to her, and she didn't ask for that. 2 months later, she does a cryptocurrency scam, which was probably not her fault. She probably had no idea what the fuck was going on. And then, now all of a sudden, her empire has entirely fallen. Everybody...
You were saying that the Hocktua girl has gone missing?
No, I don't think she probably hasn't posted online. I think now's the time to get in. But Jamie was telling me she's supposedly missing. But it's like when Suri Cruz was missing.
Didn't she make a statement saying she had no idea what's going on? Like she didn't understand.
The reason people Hocktua coin, people know it's stupid, right?
Right.
But the kind of what people say the scam was, as I understand it, is they thought they were getting in on the dump phase too.
Of course.
So the trick is, almost everybody getting in on it knows they're going to have to dump it, and they think they're going to dump it first. So they're not... The pump is for other idiots. I mean, it's built in that another idiot's going to shoulder the whatever happens from this.
If you were a crazy person that invested in NFTs...
I am.
If you're one of those people that gets in on these things, like, why wouldn't you get in on this stuff?
The thing for you to do is just find out what the divine principles of the universe are and go along with it. Just understand we don't make decisions in our lives. There's a divine presence that overshadows the earth and all life on it. And consequently, when we begin to wonder why is it that God allows this to happen, or why is it that God doesn't step in to do something, there is a more profound presence in the universe that views things differently than the way we do.
Your God, who takes hold of your right hand. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Who shall I send? And who will go for us?
I said, Here am I. Send me.
Unfortunately, our country and the world in general has totally misunderstood divine principles and divine symbols. I have come to have a name around the world for being one who sees symbols and emblems and pattern recognition. And I've done a lot of that. And I have a strong feeling about those and the patterns of symbols I'm seeing throughout the world. And if you know how to read the symbols, you can see what's going on here. There is a very powerful occult hidden, and the word occult simply means hidden. There's a very powerful hidden force operating both in the general universe and on the earth also. We call it, for lack of a better term, the will of God. Very powerful occult hidden, and the word occult simply means hidden. There's a very powerful hidden force operating both in the general universe and on the earth also.
There is no dark side, nor a light side. There is only the Force. I will do what I must to keep the balance. The balance is what keeps me together. There is no good without evil, but evil must not be allowed to flourish.
We call it, for lack of a better term, the will of God. So much of our religious beliefs and systems that we have accepted are, in point of fact, concepts and ideas coming out of the mind of men.
There is passion, yet emotion. Serenity, yet peace. Chaos, yet order. I am the wielder of the flame.
And has very little to do with the actual profound presence of the divine laws that govern the universe. And nations have come and gone, kings have come and gone, princes, rulers, bankers, and no one seems to have ever got the point that we're not here to serve ourselves. We're not here to aggrandize ourselves. We're here to learn.
The protector of balance. I am the holder of the torch, lighting the way. I am the keeper of the flame.
Something, because when we leave here, and we will be doing that rather soon, and when we leave here and we go to this other place, wherever it is that we leave to.
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh? You think you can do this shit? Jay! You think you can do this to me? You motherfuckers will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get finished with you. Shoot.
Feet program, nigga.
Program, nigga. 23-hour lockdown.
Infinite lockdown.
I'm the man up in this piece. You'll never see the light of day. Who the fuck you think you fucking with?
We need to be able to know and understand the principles that we have learned about the divine creation. All of this I'm saying to preface the comment that there is a actual, real, and legitimate laws that govern the universe, and it has nothing to do with our spiritual or our religious convictions. It has its own agenda.
The police! I run shit here! You just live here! Yeah, that's right, you better walk away. Go on, walk away. Yeah, that's right, you better walk away. Go on, walk away. Police! I run shit here! You just live here!
Unfortunately, the Romans didn't realize, they didn't know. They thought they understood. The Greeks, the Babylonians, Sumerians, the Egyptians, the British. All of these great nations have gone under.
Who the fuck you think you fucking with? I'm the police!
Because they didn't know how to read the symbols.
I run shit here! You just live here! Yeah, that's right, you better walk away. Go on, walk away, because I'm going to burn this motherfucker down. King Kong ain't got shit on me!
And consequently, we are in this country now floundering and falling apart and being subjugated as slaves because we don't know how the spirit works. But believe me, there is a very powerful spirit at work. Something is going to happen soon. And it has nothing to do with what we're doing. It's going to have to do with the divine presence. And consequently, I wanted to show you how symbols have been used and misused. We are today bombarded by religious institutions and television and radio and churches telling us that we should celebrate certain holidays, we should support particular political movements. My mother once used to say that there's never been a political movement in the world that wasn't a little religious. There's never been a religious movement in the whole earth that wasn't a little political. Politics and religion are actually one and the same thing. Because if you follow the works of Zechariah Sitchin, we find that in the ancient world, the kings represented both the temporal power, the power of government, but they also represented God. And we're still
and praising the goodness and virtue of the people.
You about to know.
By acknowledging people in their true worth, they feel healed and made whole. It fills a certain emptiness that exists inside all of us, one that can only be filled by blessing from the King energy.
By Athena, how far was it you threw your man wrestling at the last Olympic Games? Will you match it with your spear?
One traditional way the king did this was by holding audiences and literally seeing his subjects to listen to them and bestow them with honor and rewards.
Are faced with people who believe that their word is God's law. It is absolutely amazing to me to see how many supposedly intelligent, enlightened people are deceived and brought under the influence of people who would present themselves as authorities in the world. Consequently, mankind is not being led, they're being misled. We don't have national leaders, we got misleaders.
When kings fail to perform these functions and access the king archetype in its fullest, they risk experiencing the Shadow King. The Shadow King is the bipolar, dysfunctional form of the king archetype. It has two connected poles, an active one known as the tyrant and a passive one known as the weakling. The tyrant hates, fears and envies new life, which he perceives as a threat to his kingship. He acts violently because behind his threatening front lies the weakling, a man who is not truly centered in himself and is lacking inner structure. Because of this, all beauty, all strength and all life energy is an assault on his passive insecurity, making him irrational, paranoid and abusive towards others. A Shadow King identifies himself with the king energy. He is his own priority. This is the man who needs to be seen and admired, who has to be the king or otherwise he feels he is nothing. We see the Shadow King in Scar ruthlessly tyrannizing Pride Rock while fearing the return of Simba.
My friend Dick Gregory, who I love, Dick Gregory always says, the national leaders, you're just getting the government that the people represent. We get the kind of government we deserve. The leaders of this country are big and what we are small. We cheat on a little something here and there. They cheat on nations and kings, but it doesn't matter. Cheating is cheating.
See him as Macbeth, whose self-serving ambitions lead him into paranoia and madness. But more virtuous kings also experience the Shadow King, because just like the king archetype in its fullest, its shadow form is also present in all of us. King Theoden experiences the Shadow King when he is vindictive towards Gondor.
If the beacons of Gondor are lit, Rohan must be ready for war.
Tell me, why should we ride to the aid of those who did not come to ours?
And when General Patton visits a hospital and encounters a traumatized soldier.
Lies are lies, it doesn't matter. But the thing that bothers me more than anything is watching how religions have misrepresented the divine presence, have misrepresented and deceived people into supporting things which is nothing more than political and financial institutions. I mean, my God, where do you think, just looking at words and terms should tell you something. The very word church, for instance, It's an English word. C-H-U-R-C-H is an English word. Church comes from a Scottish word, kirk, K-I-R-K. Remember the old hymn, The Kirk of the Valley? Kirk is Scottish for Kirk in Scotland becomes church in English.
He
Now,
is
in the
briefly
ancient
confronted with his own weakness and lashes out violently.
Send him up to the front! You hear me? You goddamn coward! Won't have cowards in my army.
So what qualities distinguish a great king from a shadow king?
Greek world, Circe, Mother Kirk, Mother Church. Mother Circe, look it up in the encyclopedia. Circe was a goddess who was able to hypnotize people, bring them into her house, turn them into animals, and live off of them.
Unlike a shadow king, a great king disconnects his ego and his own desires when performing the two functions of the king archetype, which is an important factor in separating infantile grandiosity from realistic and mature greatness. A king is ultimately but a mortal man, a temporary steward of the enduring king energy, like a...
And this is precisely what the church has done. It has hypnotized people, taken their nationality away, taken their individual creativity and spirituality away, and brought them into a corporate enterprise, and consequently has turned them into animals. And consequently today the animals are killing each other all over the world because of church, religion, philosophies. And this concept of God's chosen people, you know, we're told that in the Hebrew religion that that was the original monotheistic religion. I have a very high respect for holy writings, for the Bible, for the Old and New Testament, but I'm also a student of history. And one can read very simply that the Jews were never a monotheistic people, ever. The Hebrew religion was a heno, spelled H-E-N-O, henotheistic religion. Henotheistic is not monotheistic. Henotheistic means choosing one God out of many. So consequently, we're told that the Hebrew people were the worshipers of one God. Absolutely not. When you get into the background of theology and religion, you're going to find, as I have found, that Judaism is a main foundation for Western civilization, and that's why I'm talking about it.
Planet orbiting a distant star. A great king therefore recognizes his own mortality and knows that someday his time will come and new life will take his place.
A king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king.
Judaism is the most eclectic religion on the face of the earth, in my opinion. I don't think there's a lunar horns. That was always a symbol for the moon god. Why? Because the moon in its lower quarter is like a horns. And consequently, this is why American Indian chiefs all had horns as the chiefs, and the Vikings wore horns. These were lunar worshipping peoples, the American Indians, Vikings, and the Hebrews. The moon